Have you ever noticed how some people seem to come alive in crowds, while others seem to breathe easier when they're finally by themselves? There's a particular kind of person who doesn't just tolerate solitude, they actively seek it. And if you're one of them, there's probably a quiet, complicated truth you already know. Being alone doesn't mean being lonely. Let me paint a picture. It's Friday night. Everyone's making plans, posting stories, filling the silence with noise and movement. And somewhere, there's someone sitting in a warm room with a book, or watching rain against a window, or just existing. And maybe for the first time all week, they feel like they can finally rest. But here's what most people don't understand. Choosing solitude isn't about running away from connection. It's far more layered than that. There's a first group of people who love being alone because their inner world is so rich, so vivid, that reality sometimes feels like an interruption. Psychologists call this high openness to experience, a personality trait linked to imagination, introspection, and deep curiosity. These are the people who can spend hours lost in thought, creating entire universes in their minds, replaying conversations, wondering about the meaning hidden beneath everyday moments. For them, solitude isn't empty, it's full. It's where their real life happens. Being around others, as much as they might care for them, can feel like stepping out of a dream they weren't ready to leave. Then there's a second group, and their relationship with alone time is quieter, more protective. These are people who've learned that the world demands a lot from them, emotionally, socially, mentally. Every interaction, no matter how kind, requires energy, a smile, a response, a performance of normalcy. And for some, especially those who are highly sensitive or introverted in the truest sense, that energy drains fast. Psychologists describe this as having a low threshold for stimulation. It's not that they dislike people, it's that people, environments, even positive experiences flood their system quickly. Solitude becomes sacred because it's the only place they can refill. It's not loneliness, it's survival, it's self-preservation wrapped in silence. And then there's a third group, one we don't talk about enough. These are the people who've been disappointed before. Maybe by friendships that faded, maybe by relationships that promised connection but delivered judgment, maybe by a world that asked them to shrink, to perform, to change who they were to belong. So they stopped reaching, not out of bitterness but out of wisdom. They realized that their own company was safer, kinder, more honest than what they'd been finding outside. This isn't introversion, this is self-protection born from experience, and it's more common than anyone wants to admit. But here's the deeper truth beneath all of this. Loving solitude often means you've developed something rare, the ability to be comfortable with yourself. Most people are terrified of silence because silence forces them to face who they are without distraction, without the noise of others' opinions, without the validation of being seen. But people who genuinely enjoy being alone, they've made peace with their own presence. They've learned to sit with their thoughts, their flaws, their unfinished stories, and not run. That's not loneliness, that's emotional maturity. And maybe that's why solitude gets misunderstood so often. Because in a world obsessed with connection, with visibility, with constant engagement, choosing to step back feels like rejection. But it's not. It's recalibration. It's the quiet act of remembering who you are when no one's watching. It's refusing to lose yourself in the rush to be understood by everyone else. The truth is, solitude and connection aren't opposites. They're partners. The people who truly enjoy being alone aren't running from relationships, they're protecting the quality of them. They're choosing depth over frequency, meaning over noise. They understand that you can't pour from an empty cup, and sometimes being alone is how you refill. So if you're someone who loves being alone, maybe it's time to stop apologizing for it. Maybe it's time to see it for what it really is, not isolation, but intimacy with yourself. Not loneliness, but the quiet strength of knowing you're enough, even when it's just you. What about you? When was the last time you sat in silence and didn't feel the need to fill it? If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And if you know someone who needs to hear this, share it with them.
Sometimes the quietest truths are the ones worth passing on.